Here's one people ask all the time, whether they should publish their game on itch.io or on Steam or on both. Um, and there's no right or wrong answer, in my opinion. They're two, I'd say, very different tools, in my opinion. Itch.io is a good tool for publishing your game if you've got like a vertical slice or a game jam game or a prototype or a demo, something that you want to validate. Basically, I think it's a good validation tool. Whereas Steam, obviously, maybe maybe not as useful for early validation. And why is that? I'd say it's probably because the barrier for entry on Steam, even though it's about as low as it's ever been, and can it really get any lower? I suppose if they remove the however much it is, like £80, £70, however many dollars that is, payment that you need to make to get onto the platform. I suppose if they remove that, that's as low as the barrier of entry is going to get. But even as you go on Steam nowadays, you can scroll for 2 minutes and you find the junk and the crap mass-produced games that have either had no real. And it's kind of shit to say that because every game has had effort put into it. I'm not saying there wasn't effort put there, but low effort asset flips, um, copycat AI generated slop basically, which is on Steam more and more now. So what one should you use? I think I spoke about this in one of the other game dev rambles that I did. And it was Chris Zukowski's latest blog post that I read, and it was all about using itch.io. And using itch.io, pretty much like I said, as a validation tool. And he gave a number of examples of games that were launched on itch and then used the traction they got from itch to build basically a collection of wish lists on Steam, used the feedback from itch, and basically built an audience there and refined the product on itch before they launched on Steam. One of the major ones right now is Die in the Dungeon. I haven't played it myself, but it's got a Steam version, an itch version still available, and it's now on Steam and performing very well. And I believe that started as a game jam submission as well. Other ones that I've personally bought, RimWorld, Wildermyth is another one. Those are like two significant ones in my head that launched on itch.io to begin with. Then they refined over time, a number of years to be fair. They built a following, and then it got to the point where when they were on Steam, the Steam page was listed, but they hadn't launched. People were sitting waiting for the Steam version, waiting to get their key off itch.io to redeem it on Steam. Other people were waiting to buy it on Steam outright. So, what one to use? Every situation is different, isn't it? Every game, project has got different goals. For me, the game I'm working on just now is going to launch on itch first, for free, purely as a way to collect feedback, to fix bugs, to see what people like about it and what they don't like about it, and also just to get it in people's hands. And launching an itch is usually the easy part. It's when it comes to launching on Steam is the more difficult part because the stakes are higher. But I like the idea of using itch as a way to test rapid prototyping, and that is the plan that I've got for going forward with game development, is to build rapid prototypes of games. I've got a massive list, I'm sure we've all got something similar, a massive list of game ideas, and I'd like to start prototyping some of them, launching them on itch and using that as a way to get feedback on what works and what doesn't. And over time, you can start to sort of see what people like and what they don't, and refining your ideas and refining your game design approach based on that. So today's game development, what we're doing, we're continuing with replacing the placeholders with the pixel art assets, and that is basically the abilities, buff icons, basically the user interface at this point. I'm also going to shuffle the equipment panel over to the left so that it's directly aligned with the player stats and attributes, and that'll, I'm thinking, make it a bit more user friendly. I still don't think it's a clean solution, but at this point I can't spend more time analysing and over analysing the layout of the interface because I've done it for so long, and I just need to get the game to a point where it looks cohesive and it's ready to be played by people. And then the big one is the main menu, because it is fully placeholders and it looks like a clown show. It looks dreadful, but it's something I can tackle and get done in a day. So it might be one for tomorrow. I might get it done later today. We will see. I'm going to crack on just now, and then in a bit I'll take a break, get the dog out for a shite. So join me. Right, so that's another chunk of work done on the look game. So let's have a wee look and I'll show you what's been going on. So you'll see the panels have changed quite a bit. I've put these wee icons next to the stats. This has got a nice wee scroll bar now as well. And then I've moved the equipment slots over to the left hand side so that we can compare the stats with the equipment. And this isn't going to be final or anything. I've got no doubt that this is going to change again, but it's going to do just now while I get people play testing it and when I release a demo for the game. And then I've got these wee icons I've started integrating into the game as well. That was a big one for today. So if I go ahead and I've got some equipment here, and I can equip this stuff, and you can see all the icons being shown for the different buffs that we get from those equipment slots. So that's a nice wee addition, having some visual representation there. What else did I do? Oh, changed the button. So I've changed the button for that old crappy design that I had made, and I've got this wee button now, and that's a wee bit rough, definitely. So that's going to need tailored a wee bit, but I also need to kind of redevelop the button mechanic, because I'm going to have basically hints, like 3 options when you click the look button, and you'll get 3 icons that pop up, and each will have a hint of what the item could be. Some will be more obvious than others, like a potion, but other ones it could be like, you know, a picture of a helmet, or a picture of like blood or something like that, just indicating what is on the item, and then obviously the risk and reward of picking that item versus picking another one. Don't really know what I'm trying to say, awfully tired, but there we go. Killing this wee skeleton, nice, and then we can move on. I don't know why that's fucked, but it is. No, need to resolve that. There we go, and we can just kill people, nice. And we can heal, lovely. Now we can go to the shop, and there's some nice feats. That tooltip isn't looking very healthy, I'll tell you. Look at that. What is it? I know it is. I don't know. I do not know. Let's leave. And can we kill somebody else? 2 zombies. Let's kill them. Bang. And we're going to get the rune. Nice. That's what's going on. If you want a wee sneak peek of what's going on tomorrow, then let's have a look at that. And This is brutal. Just been totally neglected. Oh, check this state of that. Oh my god. So bad. At least it's still somewhat functional, but that has to change, man. It is not looking good. So that's tomorrow's job. Hopefully, the next time I record this screen, it'll look lovely and beautiful. But that is that for tonight. Signing off, and I'll see you soon.